Welcome back. With 50 million users, about 5 million sellers on its app and website, Poshmark is revolutionizing retail. Known for turning closets into boutiques, Poshmark has now expanded into home decor, with hopes of making your living room as stylish as your wardrobe. I recently spoke with the founder and CEO of Poshmark, Manish Chandra, to get his take on how online shopping has changed the game.
We are very simply, we enable you to buy and sell stuff from your home, from your closet, for fashion. But the thing that's different about us is we are very social. So people follow, people connect, and we provide that human element that most other sites lack.
So you can be talking to someone who might be wanting to buy your sweater and say, well, is it a true medium? Is it a true large? You know, and just have a chat with the person.
Exactly right, exactly. And you find your style twin. You're somebody who actually loves your style, and you can shop from each other's closet. And that's sort of how you build these connections. We also have a way in which people can curate the items. So they share the items. And that also helps build the community. We're probably one of the only marketplaces where every seller spends 30 to 40% of their time promoting other sellers.
Wow. You know, this is an industry now. I mean, you're one of a couple of companies. How do you think this has evolved, and why such popularity in an environment when consumers have so much choice in retail?
So to be honest, I'm like pretty surprised how big this whole industry has become. I knew we'd be big, but I didn't know there'd be a whole industry. And I think a lot of it has to do with two things. One is, I think, an increased sort of sense of the value of what everyone has. And second, I think a different relationship that people have with their products. I mean, think of us, we're not buying cars anymore. We are sort of taking Ubers and Lyfts. You know, we're not staying in hotels. And at the same time, we are sort of changing our relationship with clothes and, you know, buying and selling them on Poshmark. So I think it's very much sort of a sign of the times.
Yeah, and the shared economy has done really well because it's enabled people who otherwise would not have access to certain things, like black cars or, you know, home chefs, to actually have access to this kind of stuff. So Poshmark is free to join, right?
Yeah.
And for sales under $15, you take a flat commission of $2.95. For sales over $15, you take a 20% of your sale, and the person who's selling the item keeps 80%, which is a great deal. Is it largely used stuff or new and used?
It's new and used, 70% used, about 30% new stuff. And then we also have sellers who've sort of started selling from their closet, and thousands of them today have created their own fashion labels. So we have fashion labels like Infinity Rain, Bella and Blue, which are all prominent on the platform. And then we created a wholesale market where they're able to sell it to other sellers.
That is very cool that people have come up with their own design brands. You know, it's interesting when you look at how it's done. Why would a company sell on your site? Like, well, let's say I'm a small business and I want to have more eyeballs. I might put it on Poshmark just for that reason, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can create a following. So there's no cost of marketing. You can create a following by curating. And ultimately, what happens to our sellers is that 70 to 80% of their customers are repeat customers.
How would you characterize business today? Give us a sense of the broad economic backdrop.
Sure. So we are growing fast. And we're tackling almost $1 trillion, $1.5 trillion market. We just launched home decor this week. And what's exciting is that people are really engaging it at a very deep level. So we've got a community of 50 billion users, 5 million seller stylists. Any given day, you have about 75 million items for sale and roughly $100 million of inventory being uploaded every week.
I could imagine home decor really lends itself to this kinds of business. It's not like you wore it. I mean, it's something that you probably had in your home that has been untouched.
Absolutely. You have stuff that's on your walls that has been untouched, stuff in your closet that's been untouched, stuff in your, kitchen that has been untouched. So we see a lot of opportunities. But more importantly, I think the inspiration that our platform provides is missing. At least with fashion, you can see people, it's hard to look inside everyone's home.
You had mentioned to my producer about an indicator that is shoe sales. Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. So one of the things that, we talk about is that the velocity of shoe sales sometimes tell you the velocity of the economy, particularly the fondness of shoes that we all have, women in particular, but I think recently men have sort of done that. We launched a sneakers market recently, and it's doing very well. I've personally bought half a dozen sneakers from it. So it's definitely a velocity in terms of our enthusiasm for where we are as an economy.
So shoe sales going up, meaning the economy may go up?
Economy continues to go up, right? When we start to see shoe sales going down, we should start to think maybe a recession is coming.
All right, the shoe indicator, I like it. My thanks to Manish Chandra. Stay with us. A lot more of my exclusive interview coming up next with President Trump. Stay with us.